So, lore friendly episode.
A hundred
I don't
and
know.
some another. Who knows?
112? A billion. I have to hit you first, though, with some sad news. One of the voice actors, Uranus, Christian
Yeah.
Koff. Yeah, they announced on like the Skyrim romance mod form, which he's like writing for and voice acting for, or whatever, that they found like a cancerous tumor on his kidneys. So
Oh
yeah,
no.
I don't know what the diagnosis is exactly, but hopefully, if they caught it early and like he could get a speedy recovery. But he was like one of the
Oh
first voice
God.
actors that worked on interesting NPCs. So
Oh bless.
yeah, hopefully he gets
Oh,
better.
that's
We wish him all the
awful.
best. Yes, it's very awful. It's a large community, but it's a small community. So a lot of the voice
Yeah.
actors work on projects.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of overlap.
There's a lot of overlap, yeah. And so, but he was like him and Jay are probably the first two actors for the mod. So, and he did a lot of voices. So yeah, it's a good guy too. So we wish him the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Best of luck with treatment and recovery, and hopefully he can pull through it.
It is the Skyrim anniversary today, 11/11/2019. It's been 8 years since Skyrim dropped. That's a long time.
It is 8 whole years. I can still remember clear as day waiting for it to be announced because there was the whole hype before the official announcement about how somebody had looked over somebody's shoulder whilst on a plane flight and saw all these files and announcements relating to Skyrim, and then that let the cat out of the bag, and then they announced it, and it was fantastic and it was beautiful, and I can still remember the chills going down my spine when it was first announced.
Oh yeah, it was a big deal because it was a long time since. I mean, they came out with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas came out after
Yeah.
that, but it was a long time since the last Elder Scrolls game. It was like 2006, 2000. It was like 5 years or so, right?
Yeah.
We've actually waited longer
Yeah, we've waited longer.
for Elder Scrolls 6. But the modding community has been, I think it's grown leaps and bounds since Oblivion, so it's kind of lengthened the life of the game. It doesn't seem as long as it did back then. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy,
It
really.
doesn't seem like 8
Just
years.
how long it's been since Skyrim was initially released.
Yeah, you were just a
Although that
baby.
being said, I didn't get to play it until like a year after its release because that was when I got my gaming laptop.
I think like when we first started talking, I didn't know this, but you were like what, 17, 18? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would have been
Or 16.
17 when it was initially
See, had I known
announced.
that, I would have been go ask your mother for permission.
Yeah. No, I was 18 when I started voice acting for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I need to start asking people's ages because at the time I didn't really even think about that. Like, these are children here. I shouldn't be talking to children without like some kind of parental permission or something. But
Yeah.
But you're an adult now, so it's okay.
I'm more than an adult. I'm getting an old adult. I'm becoming a very old adult nowadays.
Yes. Well, now you can say you have a young soul.
I don't
Before you were a
even.
young woman with an old soul. Now you can say
I don't even have a young soul, Chris. I'm just old.
you don't have one just lying around in a soul gem.
No.
Black soul gem.
I just don't have a soul, Chris. You know? Just don't have a soul.
Basically a drogger.
Yep, exactly.
Just waiting to ambush somebody. You're like sitting in some coffin somewhere. That's where you're doing the podcast from. You're doing it from a sarcophagus, just waiting to ambush some unsuspecting adventurer who just wanders into Nottingham. Says, oh, this looks like a neat place to look for loot. And then that sound comes when the coffin opens. And then you kind of like waltz out like all creaky kneed and stuff. And yeah, that's you.
That's me.
You say, hello, governor. That's the sound you make. That's your drogger combat noise.
Right there, governor.
Draugr have dragon shouts, right? Some Draugr do.
I'm not sure.
So make that into a mod.
The hello, governor, dragon shout. I like the sound of that.
So 8 years. Yeah, it's 8 years old. It's halfway to being a teenager.
It's been such a big part, and I know how sad it sounds. It's been such like a big part of my life, you know? I mean, it's been an even bigger part of yours. Like, it's set you on a fantastic path.
Yeah. Like I told Mr. Howard, I'm like, yeah, you guys changed my life.
Yeah, you got to meet Mr. Howard.
In my fantasies, of course.
Yeah. No, in real life. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, you've really managed to like turn a video game into something fantastic, especially with like the interesting NPCs stuff. Writing all of that content and making something wonderful out of it is really something impressive that hundreds of thousands of people have enjoyed.
It was more just for fun, I think, than I don't think
any striving for success or anything.
Well, because right from the start, you know you're going to release it for free, right? So it's more of just being able to put things down, I think, that I had, which is something I like to do. I have something and it may not work for one project, so you kind of save it, and then if you ever need something for another project, you kind of toss it in. So it's like, it's always good to save your work, even if it's just like, I don't know, some scribbling you made in your diary at like age 12 or something. Not that I ever had a diary. I'm a man's man.
Oh no, of course not. You're a manly man. Man.
I'm a toxic man who does not...
He does not write anything.
Or does not express his thoughts. Yes, he keeps it bottled inside and until it explodes. It's very unhealthy. But yeah, speaking of artistic things and stuff that is on the cutting edge, I guess, of video game art, Death Stranding came out.
Oh god, of course it did.
Finally. You've been waiting for that. You've been kind of giving Hideo shit for just releasing teasers, and all of a sudden he just released the whole game.
I know. It's like he's been teasing us about it for years and years and years, and it's suddenly just all released.
How's the reaction to it been? I haven't really read much of the criticism or the praise.
From what I've seen, the reaction's been very positive. I believe it's gotten a very good Metacritic score. One sec. Let me just check. Metacritic.
Thing is, I've read that it gets good like 10 hours in, like,
which is a lot of time to dedicate to a game.
I think
before you know that it's going to get good. Or
I think even Kotaku put a PSA out saying get to chapter 3 before you start judging this game. Now I'm on chapter 2 and I'm about to rage quit because the game, I can imagine how polarizing it could be, just because for one, I could probably count on one hand the minutes of actual gameplay I've had versus the long cutscenes that happen.
Classic Kojima.
There's tons of credits like that flash in front of your face. That's always plentiful. And there's always like the weird like sort of like Hideo stuff, like you'll be walking delivering an item from point A to point B and all of a sudden like music will come on and there'll be credits for the music and someone will be singing and it's very, very like
classic MGS4 Kojima.
So it's Kojima unleashed, I'd say. He's free to do what he wants. And this is what we get. Gameplay wise, I'd say the early parts are kind of like walking a tightrope in a sense. You're constantly losing balance. This guy has the worst balance ever.
He's drunk.
If he steps on a rock, he's basically gonna tilt over. I mean, part of the problem is that I'm carrying like a tower worth of like luggage on my back when I play this game, but it's like you can't help it. There's like this impulse to pick shit up, right? You see shit on the ground, you want to pick it up.
That's just the nature of video games.
So I don't know, maybe it's a commentary on that. Maybe it's a commentary on our need to hoard. It's saying stop hoarding, you're gonna fall over, you're gonna break everything that you've been carrying. So yeah, it's definitely interesting in terms of like the gameplay. Well, a little of it there is. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But I heard it gets better. It supposedly gets a lot better.
A game should be like a book. It should hook you in. It shouldn't be like, oh, it gets better in the last 5 minutes of the film.
There are interesting aspects to it. Like the world itself is interesting, and like the cutscenes and the visuals are aesthetically pleasing, I would say.
Yeah.
It's that, I mean, I wouldn't mind watching the movie of this game. It might be a lot easier than actually playing it. But yeah, I mean, what I will say is that above all, it's a game that you're probably going to either love or hate.
Yeah.
And that is that's a good thing, because the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference, right? And I think the worst thing you can feel for a game is indifferent. Yeah. But you know, I think you're either going to love it or hate it. It's just one of those things.
I mean, I would love to play it. I would absolutely love to play it. But the thing is that it's going to have to be something that you are going to have to dedicate yourself to.
Oh, yeah. 10 hours in just to get fun is what they're saying. So
Which is, it's not good planning. You should have something to hook you in with the game within the first hour or so, be that like a plot hook or anything.
yeah, I mean, the gameplay at the beginning is just delivering stuff, and at the beginning you don't really have many tools to make it fun, I'd say. I'm
Yeah.
guessing that later on that you're going to get additional like tools, and that will sort of increase the variety of gameplay and like puzzle mechanics and stuff. Like
Yeah.
at the start it's just you, and then you get a ladder and a rope, and so the ladder and rope add a little bit of diversity, but I think like over time it's just you're going to get more tools, and then you're going to get these enemies that are going to try and stop you from making these deliveries. They're gonna like troll you and stuff. Poor UPS guy trying to make his delivery, and he's getting like sacked by bandits, and
He just wants to make his damn deliveries, guys.
and they're like screaming at him. They're like, "Never should have come here," and saying stuff like that. They don't actually say that, but they might say that.
You might say that 10 hours into the game. They might start making Arrow-to-the-Knee jokes.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. There are references to previous Kojima games in there, so you never know.
Of course there are. What's been your favorite reference so far?
I've only seen one, but there was like a game over thing. Like it was the Metal Gear Solid game over screen. Like
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Guillermo del Toro was like telling Norman Reedus like, "Hey, you don't want to die, or you don't want to do this, or it's gonna be game over." And then game over flashes on the screen behind you, and you're like, "Oh, cringe."
Oh, Kojima.
There's definitely some cringe-worthy moments in the game, but was to be expected. It's
Yeah.
I think it's the translation too. It's just some things don't translate well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, is there a game that you could think of that you're just indifferent to? Like you play it and you just don't care. It's just like,
I might get hated quite a lot for saying this, but I'd say that probably the first Dishonored plays into that. Like, I enjoyed it, but I never really had the urge to go back to it. I got like halfway through it, and then I just put it down and I was like, you know what, no. Like, it was alright, but I don't know. You know?
yeah, and I think it's kind of damning in a sense if you don't have any strong feelings for it whatsoever. I mean, that's the thing. So, I mean, if you're gonna at least if you rage and you hate it and you're like, F this, I think you're a little bit closer to liking the game or wanting to play it. Like, you care about it in a sense. Like, so, I don't know. So, like, I think maybe, like, when you talk about, like, Fallout 76 players who hate Fallout 76, it's because they care about Fallout. They like the genre. They like the game, and it's something that matters to them. If it was, like, something they were indifferent to, they just would ignore it. It's like the opera or something, you know?
Yeah.
You don't see people raging on the opera forums.
Like, oh my god, Ave Maria was absolute bullshit. I don't know anything about opera. All I know is that it's opera that we've got to thank for giving Vikings horned hats. That's all I know.
There you go.
It's all their fault.
And that's something you could rage about on the forums, the opera forums, when you go there next.
Historically inaccurate.
And this Phantom of the Opera, he never even existed.
Phantom of the Opera isn't a proper opera though, is it, mate? It's not. It's an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing we can rage about on the forums.
There you go, see? You're starting to care. You're starting to...
I'm starting to care about the intricacies of the opera fandom.
Exactly. So then, that's when you know when something's is worth talking about, because... Look, see, you talked about Phantom of the Opera and you immediately started raging. So there you go.
I just need something new to rage at, Chris.
If I just
Honestly.
said, like, if I mentioned Les Mis or something like that, or Cats, maybe you would have just, like, been, eh?
Oh, God, not that bloody... No, don't mention that to me, Chris.
No, Cats will make you rage. Cats will definitely either make you... It'll give you some kind of emotion.
I'm still traumatized by that fucking trailer.
I think it's impossible to be indifferent to Cats. That's a good thing.
Nigh on impossible.
So yeah, Death Stranding, I definitely think you should give it a try. Maybe you don't have to buy the game, but you can try it. Is it on the Game Pass? It might be on the Game Pass.
Well, you know what we do know, Chris, is that we do know that it is releasing on PC at some point. Not sure when, but at some point.
I mean, it'll be full price on the PC when it comes out, but you should be able to get it cheap. I don't know if it'll be on sale on PS4, but it'll be on the Game Pass. Either that or you
Yeah.
can maybe like buy like 100 Monster Energy drinks and maybe they'll give you like a free game. I don't know.
Who knows?
Because there's certainly a lot of Monster Energy drinks in the game itself, so maybe there's
Yeah.
like a cross promotion. So
It probably has been, hasn't it?
that's very important.
But the thing is, if you've played 10 hours of a game and you've got no idea what's going on, I think that is a flaw in the game design. I mean, I can't speak about the quality of the game because I haven't seen it. I haven't played it. I've only had a cursory glance at some of the content relating to it.
So far, the story has been very easy to follow. I think there's some weird stuff. There's definitely some, like, when they start talking about like time fall and beryllium exposure, like things like that at the beginning, like you're definitely like saying, what? These aren't even words, right?
Yeah.
It's got your standard post-apocalyptic tropes as well as the whole strand connecting thing where you're connecting these remnant cities together. But it's not too weird, but the cause of the Death Stranding, the cause of the cataclysmic event that like caused this post-apocalypse is a question. It's a mystery, and that I guess is like going to be revealed later. But
Yeah, what's this gonna be solved?
but I mean, it's batshit and it's cringy, but it's also unique and interesting. So it's, I don't know. I think it's worth playing just to experience it, but it might also be worth watching. Like, it might just be more fun to watch the movie version on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure exists in some form. I do find the names kind of cringy too. This poor actor who has to keep saying, "Hey, Sam, this is Die Hard Man." That's my name, Die Hard Man.
I mean, that's a very Kojima name.
Because it's very hard for me to die. Like, literally, he can come back to life. So can
What?
Sam.
Oh, of course.
They're repatriates, and they can basically grab a strand when they die and like pull themselves back up into the world of living.
Oh, okay.
But yes, so we have Die Hard Man, we have Sam Porter Bridges, we have President Bridget, who founded Bridges.
Oh, a lady president. How progressive.
Yes. And there's also a woman who you're supposed to save who's trapped on the West Coast named Amelie or Emily. It really depends on which voice actor you're talking to because
no.
they all pronounce differently. Like Sam will say like, "Oh, where's Amelie? Where's Amelie?" That's my best Norman Reedus.
Where's
impression.
Amelie? I watched him in The Walking Dead for a bit.
And Die Hard Man will say, "Oh, Amelie is over on the West Coast. We know where Amelie is." Wait, so you're saying you know where Amelie is? That's right, we know exactly where Amelie is. And they'll literally have this conversation where they keep like saying the name back and forth and mispronouncing it. Well, I don't know, maybe one of them is pronouncing it correctly, but I have no idea because they all use a different way of saying it. I guess I'll just have to wait for her to say her own name. And
So
then I'll know
how
this
is it
you say it.
spelt?
Oh, it's spelled like Amelie, like Amelie, like the movie.
Wait, what is that? A-M...
Movie Amelie. Elie.
E-L...
Google the movie Amelie. It's spelled exactly like the
Oh,
movie.
right.
That's a good movie.
No,
Have you seen
Of course
that?
I haven't.
It's a French film, but watching foreign films, I hate watching foreign films because subtitles, but that's a good film. I think it's French. Never seen Amelie. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
you should
I'd
watch it. And
tell you
it's
the
like,
proper pronunciation, but unfortunately, Chris, I don't actually speak French.
It's a romantic comedy. It's.
I mean, I recognise the picture. I recognise the picture and I recognise the actress, but I have never seen it in my life.
Oh, it's imaginative and colorful, and you know how like Hideo Kojima stuff is like imaginative and dark and like a little bit of horror involved. This is like the opposite of that, like imaginative and bright and fun, and I don't know, if you're in the mood for something like that, it's a good film to watch.
Well, I could be down with that.
Be down with it.
I'm down with many things, Chris. That could turn out to be one of them.
But yeah, I would recommend giving it a try. I mean, there's things that I ask myself when I'm playing, like, why am I playing this?
Yeah.
That's a common
Which
question.
isn't a good... Again, it's not a positive thing to be thinking when you're playing a game.
Why is this walking simulator making me look at the ground so I can avoid pebbles? Because if I even step on one pebble, I'm gonna crash
Yeah.
and fall. And it's just like, what is this invisible tightrope that I'm walking on? Maybe that's the point, because like ropes are a common theme in this game. So maybe the fact that you're walking on a tightrope, it seems, everywhere you go
A
is
theme.
part of the point. It's the Strand. It's art.
Art.
That's what Hideo Kojima did. He went to the store, the video game dev store, and he said, "One art, please.
All the art, please.
I'll have one art." And out came Death Stranding. He's like, "Oh, here is art." And no, and I don't mean that to be like condescending. I think
Yeah.
it's a worthwhile game to play. I think it's good that when developers take chances and do things and try things.
And have the freedom to take those chances. It's nice.
Yeah, and randomly start playing songs while you're walking. It's just
It just brightens up your day a bit. It's like when you put your Spotify on shuffle.
exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, oh wait, did I turn on my Spotify? It's like, oh no, wait, the credits are coming on. This is a music song that is part of the game. It's just, imagine if you were just you were walking or from Riverwood to Whiterun, and then all of a sudden like Billie Eilish starts playing.
I have never listened to Billie Eilish. I know that she's a big thing at the minute, but I've never listened to her.
What's another reference I could use? Well, imagine that a Taylor Swift song started playing. You're just like walking from Riverwood to Whiterun, and all of a sudden the credits pop up. And it's like Taylor Swift, me.
That would take me out of the experience a little bit. Not gonna lie.
What's that song? I don't know any Taylor Swift songs. See, this would be the part where I start singing, but then I don't know any Taylor Swift song to sing. So there you go. You're just gonna
Cause
have
then
to
we
imagine
got
it.
bad blood. You know we gonna get
Yeah, just imagine
some.
you're walking to
You
Whiterun
got a
right
really
now,
big butt.
and it's playing.
This is got
Walking to
got
Whiterun,
bad
walking to
blood.
Whiterun,
Wait.
talking to Nazim.
You see, I'm just getting flashbacks now of the Oblivion killing montages set to like the bodies at the floor. They used to be my favorite things to watch.
That would work in Whiterun.
It was great.
There. So it would fit.
No.
Yes, I think it would work. Whiterun. The bodies hit the floor. You could make a Kojima mod for Skyrim. Someone get on that, where you just randomly put in pop songs while you're traveling.
I'd say, Chris, if you have the free time, you've got to do it.
I don't have the free time. You know why I don't have the free time? Because YouTube is not paying us enough.
No, they are not. So there was an announcement that came out to creator channels, not commenter channels, but just creator channels, that was talking about how channels that aren't financially viable anymore could well find themselves being deleted.
Uh-oh, that sounds like us. I feel
yeah,
attacked.
that sounds like us.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, because I'm not sure about you, but we don't bring in any money.
No.
We just do this for the love.
Should I check my my Google account to see if it's technically our Google account? I shouldn't say my. That's the wrong pronoun to use. It's our Google account.
Yeah.
It's our money.
Well, it's not our Google account. It's a subsidiary that is joint managed by both of us.
Okay, so this month we earned a grand total of $3.34.
Did we?
Estimated revenue.
What?
It's not even guaranteed revenue. It's estimated.
Well, considering that we didn't put anything out this month.
No, the top video it's the fucking interview with Podastic Panda. That's the one that earns all the pennies. And then Load Disorder, the video that is on the Nexus page, so that gets views. And then Undolamar Mouthwatch is number 3.
Really? Oh, wow.
Now keep in mind that number 3 of our total, of our videos is not going to amount to many views. It's
No, it does not. I think our top viewed video was when we reviewed Undertale. We struck gold there, Chris. We've not got it back.
It's like 3rd place in a I don't know, something contest. What's the phrase?
Yeah.
What's the
In a shitting contest.
There you go, in a shitting contest. What would a shitting contest be? What?
I don't even know if that's a thing.
What in the world is a shitting contest? Do we judge based on the size of the turd, the consistency of the poop? I mean, what?
I believe there was a whole South Park episode based around this concept, Chris. Don't worry.
Yeah, in any case, you don't want to come in 3rd place in any kind of feces-related contest. So there you go.
No, but I didn't want to use the term... not shitting contest, pissing contest, because that implies that all of our videos are competing against each other.
Yeah.
which they're not. They're all working
Yes,
in harmony. So that we can split up the revenue fairly, and by fairly, I mean...
I basically...
Never. Because we never reach enough money to get a paycheck.
No, we're definitely in the red. Just in terms of like the amount I give you versus the amount we earn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely in the red.
Yeah. Oh, so much, yeah.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yes, YouTube. So
Yeah, so this is obviously worrying for... Because it's a very vague term, isn't it? Saying that a channel that's not financially viable. Because does that mean that doesn't include channels that turn off their ads purposefully? So like, I've talked about it a lot on the podcast, but the Gymquisition show is ad-free because it's funded completely by Patreon. So would that mean that he'd be forced to run ads on videos?
Probably not,
to
because
make it more viable?
Because certain people who have a ton of influence, they can basically get whatever they want. I think they they have a direct line to YouTube. So if that ever happened to him, he would be able to just call up Mr. YouTube, Mr. Google, and Mrs. Google. He would be able to call them both up and say, hey, I don't want to run ads on my page. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. It is done. But it's the little guy, it's the nobody who basically, I mean, if it ever happened to us, we do not have a direct line to Mrs. Google. We cannot speak to Mrs. YouTube. It's just not going to happen.
No.
So,
well, that's the thing, though, is that even when larger creators are being affected, so this announcement comes off of the back of a load of Markiplier's fans getting banned for using too many emojis in the comments, I believe. So, like, a load of his viewers were banned, and he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, because, again, it's not him being banned, it's his minions, more or less, right? So.
It's his fans.
Yeah. So, I mean...
But he's one of the largest creators on the platform.
Exactly, he has a lot of fans. So, it's definitely something that it's worrying, especially when they leave it up to a robot, because we both know that robots, they don't have feelings. They may take over the world at some point. They're ruthless killing machines, and when you're a ruthless killing machine, sometimes it doesn't matter if there's a person or a face behind the YouTube channel. You just want to kill it. It's just what you're programmed to do. And so these YouTube kill bots may very well just axe channels, but it's not good.
But I can only imagine how stressful it is for content creators who, I don't want to say don't care about what they do, but like who YouTube is their livelihood in some respects. Because there is no, even if their channels get banned, yes, they might have Patreon to support them, but then where are they going to host the videos?
Yeah, like there are people who,
that sort of
for
thing.
them, demonetization is their livelihood. Like, I mean, it is the difference between paying the rent and not paying the rent, living out in the streets. So it's definitely worrisome. We're going to be okay, though. We're financially viable. We made $3 last month. So.
Yeah, we're fine. You know what that $3 can pay for? Like
gum.
A half pint of beer?
Oh yeah, beer. Beer is a much better purchase for those $3. I'm definitely going to put that in our next financial report. This money is allocated for beer. We won't be able to supply the office with pens this month, but we will be good and drunk, and that's more important.
Yes.
Who needs pens?
Well, you won't. If you get drunk on a half pint of beer, I'm sorry, Chris, but
that is probably what would happen.
You're not doing very well.
No, actually, I think that's a benefit. You have to drink many pints of beer just to get drunk. I can get wasted on just half a pint. So there you go.
Oh, I wish that was me.
It's way better.
It would be so cheap.
Again, because we don't subscribe to toxic masculinity anymore. We don't need to stuff our face full of pint after pint to prove our manhood. We're comfortable.
I do.
Yes. You definitely will have a hard time proving your manhood to me, yes. Your masculinity to me. That is definitely an uphill climb for you.
Yeah, but...
Although women can have masculine properties, just like men can have feminine properties. Look at me. I'm the most feminine person here.
You probably are, actually. I'm a laid. I'm a laid, Chris.
I embrace my femininity. It's just what I did.
As you should. As you should, Chris.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, basically it's... But YouTube has a systematic habit of fucking over smaller creators, so honestly, I can't say that I'm surprised.
Yeah, it just seems like when I hear something like this, I'm like, again? Like,
Yeah.
wait, didn't this happen like 2 months ago? Didn't this happen like last week? It seems like it's a common
Oh,
thing.
God, yeah.
For YouTube fucking up. YouTube fucking up is like,
A
the
monthly
sunrise.
occurrence.
Yes.
It's gonna happen.
You can set your watch to it. Although you wouldn't be setting your watch, you would be setting your little Ben. It's what you call your, it's not a big Ben, it's a little Ben. It's
Yeah.
you keep it on your wrist, and you say, "Hello, governor," and it's a.
Hello,
I just
darling.
gotta check my little Ben. You see,
What the
my little Ben. It tells the time.
What? Oh, Chris, sweetheart, you need to work on your accents.
Yeah, I never said I was good at accents. I'm just saying it's not a big Ben. It's a little Ben.
I will say that your accents are very funny and they give me much joy. That's what I will say.
That joy, and you respond in silence.
Yes, they give me silent joy.
But yes, the important thing is I'm willing to try.
Yes.
Yeah, but so YouTube bad. What else is new? It's very, very,
Surprise!
very, very sad. So our channel will now be on Vimeo. Or,
Is Vimeo
TikTok.
even still a thing?
I don't know. It's gonna be on TikTok. What's the popular thing with kids now? Is it the gram?
Instagram's like dead, mate.
Oh,
They're
is it?
removing likes from Instagram. There's no need for Instagram anymore, Chris.
Oh, why would you be on any social media thing if there were no likes?
Exactly.
That's how I validate myself.
I love being validated by myself.
Oh, you like your own grams? Is that what they call them, grams?
Oh, I
Tweets?
don't like my own Instagrams, Chris. That would be very sad of me. No, I just base all of my self-esteem on my Instagram.
As do I.
Although that being said, I don't post very often, so it's
That's
okay.
why I'm on Twitter. It's basically for the likes. It's much more instant gratification.
It's basically a form of esteem.
Why would you spend months and months making a mod, making anything, when you can just post a 5-second tweet and boom, likes, retweets.
Love.
Yes. In like form.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, why are they getting rid of likes? I don't get that.
Because Instagram is being criticized for being a superficial platform and causing self-esteem issues.
So they're taking away
Which,
the
yeah.
thing that gives you self-esteem?
Yeah, because if you can't compare, so you can still like things, but you can't view how many likes other people have got. So you can't compare how you're doing compared to other people.
That would almost feel like suffocation almost. Like you would just be like wondering how many likes did you really get, and it would just give you so much
Yeah.
anxiety because you're like, oh my god, do people like it? I don't know. There's nothing to tell me. There's no gauge to tell me whether this was good or not. Oh no, I'm anxious.
But you can see your own. You can see the likes that you've received.
Oh.
But you can't see what other people have received, so you have no gauge to
okay.
compare.
That makes a little bit more sense. You still get the self-esteem. You just can't.
Yeah.
You just can't basically have a pissing contest like you said earlier. It's like there's no dick measuring. And there we go. I said dicks.
Well done.
We hit our quota. But yeah, you can't basically measure yourself against others, which is.
Yeah.
But yeah. I can see why that would make some sort of sense. I still wouldn't have done it, but yeah, it's all right. It's not the end
And
of the
so
world.
on.
Alice.
Yeah,
You'll still get your likes. They'll just be hidden.
I still get my likes.
You just won't get that clout. That's what you'll be missing.
No, I just won't be able to wave it about and just be like, oh my god, look at how many people I have liking my
Yes.
photos. To be fair, I only average 20 likes anyway, so it's fine.
You couldn't basically show your posts to other people as a form of status. It's not there's no bragging rights anymore. That is, I think everyone enjoys likes. So if that was the case, then
Everybody's a
which we may
little
be,
bit
but,
sad.
yeah, that's the human race for you. That's basically why we're all going to be eliminated by these YouTube robots anyways.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, that probably covers it.
Yes, it does.
Anything else that you want to talk about?
No. Oh,
Alright.
so there's 2 TV shows that are coming out at the moment, and our 3 listeners can tell us which one that they want us to talk about on the podcast. So there's His Dark Materials, the Philip Pullman adaptation, which is a joint endeavour between HBO and BBC, and it's HBO's biggest project since Game of Thrones, I believe. That at least to be aired. And then there's also Watchmen. I completely forgot that Watchmen was out.
Oh yeah.
So let us know either in the comment section, preferably on the comment section, because it gives us more traction. It pushes us up according to the algorithm if we get more
Nice,
comments
yes.
and engagement. So let us know on the YouTube comments which one you'd like us to talk about next week. Because they're both shows that I want to watch. And I know that you're at least watching His Dark Materials.
Yes, I watched episode 1. I'll probably watch episode 2 tonight. Yeah, I mean, I think I have time. So, should be good. Should be good.
So let us know.
All right.
On that note, I believe we're ending.
Yes. All right. We'll talk about that and any other gaming news next week. And so once more, happy anniversaries for Skyrim. And yeah.
Goodbye.
See you next week. Can you hear me saying hello,
I can
governor?
hear you. Yep. Hello, governor.
I've had a lot of practice over the last 5 seconds saying that over and over again.
Over and over and over again, just to see if I can hear or not.
That's pretty much the only. Or
You know,
you what,
you
mate?
know I up duck as well. You know you what,
what,
mate,
mate?
and you know I up duck.
Hey up, duck. I've never said that before. How was that? That was terrible.
That was. I think it needs work with the delivery. It's got to be less aggressive, more warm and friendly.
Oh, I only know aggression. I'm a very aggressive goose.
Wah. No, A up duck.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey up, duck. Hello, governor.
Oh. No, you're skipping between like two completely different regions of the UK there, mate.
It's all one region to me.